This is LA's first.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. We're all about manifestation, transformation, and breakthroughs. It's time to claim your birthright of prosperity, vitality, and love. So grab your tea or coffee because together we're awakening the world. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, this is Dr. Erin. We come together each day to know the truth, to live on spiritual principle, and to align with universal law. We also come together in community in New Thought Global and Soulciété. We truly believe that when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world, and together we are awakening the world. So today I want to talk about how to handle negative people and how to choose your inner circle. And I might offend some people today, and I'm going to break on down how I choose my inner circle. And we are going to talk about the benefits and really the intense side effects of having negative people in your life. They say that we are the sum total of the primary 5 people that in our lives. We have to recognize that we're one. And who we hang out with influences us at such a core level, at an energetic level, at a cellular level, and for sure at a level of how we innovate and what our conversation is, and so on and so forth. So this is such an important conversation because I used to be one of those people that didn't have any guidance around this. I didn't have any guidance around this. I had a lot of miscellaneous people in my life. I had a lot of chaos in my life, a lot of drama in my life, a lot of alcoholics in my life, and I just never understood that you can actually pick your people, that you can actually have standards for who belongs in your life, and that you need to be able to spot who really is somebody that, belongs in your inner circle. And this doesn't mean that I don't unconditionally love everybody on this planet, but it's about putting boundaries. So if they are dysfunctional or if they are negative, yes, I would still take them as in helping them if they wanted help as a client or in getting them help or whatever that is. But I'm very clear of who my inner circle is and who really belongs and who deserves my energy. Okay, again, I might offend some people in this, and I'm okay with that because it's taken me a very, very long time to recognize that my time is so incredibly valuable. My life is so incredibly valuable, and it is my self-love of giving myself the gift to never put myself around anything that doesn't serve the highest good. So let's break this on down. You might want to get a pen and paper out, and if you do find value in this, please share this with somebody, because I know there's probably somebody in your life that is maybe you are majorly dealing with this, but maybe you know somebody else that's even more dealing with insanity in their life, in the people that are in their life. Okay, so let's break this on down. So there's probably a huge, long list of different things of way of spotting negative people. And first, you have to think, how do you spot negative people? Sometimes it's like you just feel so incredibly drained after a conversation. Maybe you go to lunch with a group of people and there's somebody that is, taking up all the energy. In fact, I just went to an event for a little celebration, and I think there was probably about 12 people, and there was one person there, this woman that literally almost kind of, for me, almost ruined the entire event because she was so negative and she was so self-centered, and she literally dominated all the conversations all day long. And actually, by the end of the night, she got completely intoxicated and had to be sent home in a car. And it was really fascinating because I was actually like a little bit of a flashback of an old life of all the stuff that would have gone on. And it was a big blessing for me because I had remembered what it's like to have negative people in your life. And it made me so clear that is something that I will not have in my life. And I'm all about getting that person help if they want help or whatever that is, but they don't belong in my inner circle. That's for sure. In fact, that event is actually what propelled me to do this podcast. So I'm sure there, again, is many distinctions of how to spot negative people. But I'm going to tell you maybe about 10 that I spot, and I can spot negativity a mile away. And so the first one is constantly complaining, having that limited story around how, how life is hard, how their ex, is so awful, how the economy is a doomsday, how the weather isn't right, how the service at the restaurant is terrible, how everything, right? They constantly are complaining. No matter what, they're only looking through that lens of something is wrong here, and let me tell you how it's wrong, and how, not instead of how it's right, okay? They're constantly going from, if you were to take the opposite of what gratitude is, they're constantly focusing on complaining, constantly focusing on the negative, okay? Number 2 is they're victims. They're victims of their ex. They're victims of their parents. They're victims of the society. They're victims of everything. They're victims of the day. They're victims of everything. Everything they talk about is how somebody did something to them, or how it's not just, or how it's whatever. And this is very different than taking, action and bringing equality to the world. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about true victimhood, where everything is, they don't see their role that they're playing in all of it in life, okay? Number 3 is that they're constantly gossiping about others. Oh my gosh, I can't believe she did that. Oh my God, you can't believe what he did, and he said this and she said that, and blah, blah, blah. And because anytime they look at life, they're looking at really being the effect. So they gossip. They gossip about their girlfriend that they, their friend that they had to break up with, they no longer talk to because it was so negative and da-da-da. It's like, have you opened your eyes and seen what you are? You know what I mean? So it's a constant gossiping. If they do talk about others, they have an opinion, and it's usually negative, okay? They're not, when you ask them about somebody who is, and we'll go through that of what to spot in a positive person, right? So number 4 is they have chaotic lives. They have very chaotic lives, right? They have no schedule. They go to sleep at 11 o'clock one night and 4 o'clock the next night. And that doesn't mean everybody is negative that doesn't have, sleep schedules. But in general, if somebody doesn't have a particular kind of schedule in their life, they generally are very chaotic people. You can also tell by how they treat their belongings. Are their purses a disaster? Are their cars full of crap everywhere? Are their closets jammed full of whatever? You can begin to spot how they treat themselves, right? Do they get crap all over their clothes when they're having food and they're like, whatever, do they lose things all the time? Do they break their phones all the time? You can actually spot this, okay? You can spot negative people, okay? It's not that these are bad spiritual beings. We have to get to the truth. These are divines. Everyone's a divine spiritual being. At the core of all of us, we're good. But we have to recognize that where they're at is they are spiraling in a way that they need to do their inner work and heal, right? So we want to make sure we're not taking on this baggage of our own, okay? So that was number 4, is they have chaotic lives. Number 5 is they focus on problems and not solutions, okay? That means that they're always focusing on limitations instead of possibility. You'll find this, right? So there's a lot of people I know that are extraordinary people, but they never start that business that they want to do because they're always looking at why they can't do it instead of why they can do it. They're always looking at naysaying life instead of focusing on, the possibility. They constantly are looking at the problems instead of not the solutions, okay? So I can sit with somebody if I'm at a dinner party with people, I listen to their conversations. And I know right away who somebody is that I would even want in my life at all, because I can hear what they're saying. Are they talking about possibility? Or are they talking about limitations, okay? Number 6 is they have relationship problems, whether it be with their partner, whether it be with their friend, their boss, their family, their whatever. They have relationship problems, okay? And somehow it'll start coming out, right? And you can ask them about their lives, so tell me about your life, tell me about your family, tell me about whatever. And generally, if they have not done their inner healing, then for me, they really don't belong in my life. And you can hear it in people. They'll start bad talking their mom or bad talking whatever, instead of having resolve already, like, wherever they're at, what, my family's amazing. We've gone through a lot. We've all done our healing, whatever that is. Like, they have relationship problems. They will constantly find what's wrong and always have some kind of something going on. It's a problem in their life. Okay. Number 7 is they're generally emotional roller coasters, right? And this sometimes takes a while to spot this with people. So if you start having a friend in your life and you see that, like, they're high on life, everything's good, da da da, oh my gosh, I'm so happy, da da da. And then the next time, hang out with them, it's like, just feeling like really down and it's hard, this full moon really gets to me. And like, they're not able to regulate their emotions, their emotional roller coasters. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just literally that you have to understand that you're going to be having to manage that of just being around them and help walk them through it, or help, listen to the conversation of that problem. So they're emotional roller coasters, and emotional roller coasters are going to drain your energy, right? So that's the next one. Number 8 is they're energetically draining. When you're around somebody, do you walk away more inspired? Or do you walk away feeling like you're slimed? Honestly, sometimes it's not that extreme, but you have to ask yourself, is your energy getting better? Are you thriving a little bit more from somebody, that is bringing more to your life, or are they taking away from your life? Okay. And this is number 9, which is your life goes down. I remember a friend saying to me years back saying, there's only really one way to, there's only 2 distinctions of people in your life. Your life's either going up or going down with them in your life. And so you have to look at friends and negative people and say, they might have an incredible career. I had a friend years ago. She was amazing. I had so much fun with her. We laughed and laughed and laughed, and we'd have these times where we'd hang out. It was incredible. But there was a lot of dysfunction. And when I took a look at the whole picture of this human being in my life did not go up because of this person. It generally would go down because there was mood swings and there was ups and downs, and she'd decide to like disown everybody in her life, and then she'd come back in and we'd have these magical moments, and then she'd disown everybody. And it was like, she was just very chaotic, and my life did not go up over the course of it. It really did get worse if you think about it. And number 10 is they're self-centered. They call you when it works for them instead of being a reliable friend and somebody there for you instead of only when it works for them. And they're always bringing the conversations back to themselves. They're self-centered, And this doesn't make the distinction of they're narcissists or anything like that. It just means they're self-centered, And do you want somebody that's self-centered in your life? And the issue is that either works for you or not. I do have friends that are, friends that we may only talk once a year. And it's amazing. And it's like we never skipped a beat. So there's a time where people just are busy, and there's nothing wrong with that. When you come back together, it's okay. Like, you still get a lot out of it. You both love each other. Everyone's thriving. Everyone's doing good. That's different than being self-centered. You call them, they don't call back. It's not like a equal kind of exchange going back and forth. So these are the things you need to spot in people. And you need to ask yourself, what works for you? What works for me is going to be different for you in who belongs in my inner circle, right? So number 1, again, is they constantly are complaining. Number 2, they're victims. Number 3, they gossip about others. They always find what's wrong instead of what's right with others. Number 4 is that they have chaotic lives. There's no schedule. They don't treat their belongings well. They're just everything in their life's chaotic, right? Number 5 is they focus on problems instead of solutions. They focus on limitations instead of possibility. Number 6 is they have relationship problems, generally with somebody in their life. It's that one boss. It's like, oh, my life's so great except for this one thing. Well, that one thing is still affecting your time and your energy and everything, right? Number 7 is they they're emotionally roller coasters. They're just up and down all the time. Number 8 is they're energetically draining. And number 9 is your life goes down because they're in your life. And number 10 is they're self-centered. They don't call you back when there's no equal exchange. It's always about them. Okay? They always bring the conversation back to themselves. This again was this woman the other day. It was like, just constant. Anytime anybody at the table was talking about anything, she'd interject and be like, oh yeah, well it always comes back to her the entire time, right? So we want to know, we want to spot what it means to have somebody that is that. And then we want to look at, so how do you spot a positive person? If you can spot a negative person, you should be able to spot a positive person, someone that probably is going to bring your life up, okay? So instead of constantly complaining, they're constantly like seeing the day and being so blessed and focusing on how miraculous the day is and how good things are. And they're constantly seeing the good, constantly bringing it back to gratitude. Number 2, instead of their victims, they are always creating. They're creating their lives. They're creating and seeing how they can cause and create anything and everything's possible, right? Number 3 is instead of gossiping about others, they're always talking about how wonderful people are. You could ask them about, their partner or about their parents or about the community there. And they're going to always tell you about how amazing they are, how great they're, how epic they are, how extraordinary their friends are, right? They're going to talk about all the great things. Number 4, instead of that they have chaotic lives, they're going to have probably some structure. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm, up to X, Y, and Z. I've been, just going about my day. And then I've been finding the balance by taking off and getting the vacations in my life. They're going to probably have a timeline. They're going to be like, okay, I'm available from this time to this time. I'm going to come to the event, but I go home by 11 because I got a great day and I love my life and I'm going to get up the next day, right? They have a schedule. They're reliable. They're consistent, right? They also respect their belongings. So they probably, have very, organized lives. Maybe it's not, perfect, but it's organized, right? So number 5 is they focus, instead of focusing on problems and not solutions, they're always looking at the solutions. They're innovators. They're constantly innovating and pivoting and creating and finding how they can do it. They're always asking, how can I do it instead of how can't I do it, okay? Number 6 is instead of them having relationship problems, they're always seeking development. They're doing their inner work. They're doing their inner trauma work. They're growing. They're reading the next book. They're discovering how they can make their relationships better. They're trying to accept the people in their lives. They're trying to really break through everything and transform life as they know it. Number 7 is instead of being emotional roller coasters, they're emotional regulators. We all have emotional things that come up, but they're able to manage it. They've done their work. They know how to manage when they do have emotional stuff come up. When the moon does come up, they have ways of dealing with it. They have a spiritual practice probably, or some type of exercise routine or something to regulate their emotions, right? So number 8, instead of being energetically draining, they're energetically inspiring. When you have extraordinary people in your life and you go sit down with them for a dinner, by the end of the night, you are recharged. You're inspired. You've learned something new. You want to hang out with people more. This is the difference of spotting negative people versus positive people, okay? Number 9 is your life doesn't go down, it goes up. Every single time you're around your friends, you learn, you grow, you have new experiences. Your life gets better because of your friends. You're collaborating in business. You're helping each other. How can I help you? Oh, you need something done? Oh, I have this friend that can help you do this. You're constantly collaborating and connecting and doing things, right? And then number 10, they're not self-centered. When you sit down to a dinner with them, they're asking about you. They're asking questions about you. Instead of always bringing it back to them, they're inquiring. How are you? What's going on with you? Tell me more. They're not self-centered. They're, when you call them, they call back. It's a equal exchange in your relationship, right? So I think it's so incredibly important to understand, your deal breakers in your inner circle. How do you pick your people? Have you thought about that? It's actually something we do in Soulciété and that's really, I think that our community inner circle, because we do have a community called Inner Circle, and one of the goals that we have for people that are coming in there, for them to get clarity on becoming somebody that people would want as their inner circle. Some people need to make distinctions of other people. Some people need to do their own work. Some people are disasters, right? And, if it comes to addicts or narcissists or pathological liars, we really don't have the capacity to do that. Those are complete deal breakers as far as those people need to get professional help. They need to go do their inner work. In Soulciété, we deal a lot with people once they've come out of, those really, really hard places that need professional help. But people that are really trying to strive to do their inner work, to no longer be victims, to no longer gossip, to get their mind right and practice living on principle, okay? And believe me, I've been there. I have been that girl that complains. I've been the victim. I've been the girl who gossips about others. I've been the one that has a chaotic life. I've been the one that looks at problems instead of solutions. I've been all of these things, okay? The reason why I value all of this is because I've been there. I know the difference of having an extraordinary life versus a crappy life, okay? So how do I pick my inner circle? Everyone's going to have deal breakers for their people in their life. Everyone's going to have must-haves, and everyone's going to have an ideal scene. Okay, we walk through this process in Soulciété, in leadership, and in the different higher programs. But how do I pick my inner circle? I'm very clear. I have a very clear definition. I only have extraordinary human beings in my life. My time is so precious that if you are not an extraordinary person, it's fine, but that means that you are a client, okay? And all clients become extraordinary people if they go fully through my programs, okay? You will walk away being and knowing exactly and living your truth and being an extraordinary human being, okay? But people that belong in my inner circle, my people, I have a very small group of people that I talk to on the phone every day. Not every day, but people that really belong as my true friends. I only have people that are up to making a huge difference in the world. I only have innovative friends that are always looking at how to create extraordinary things in this world. I only have people that understand they are 100% responsible for their life. I only have people in my life that see the good and how it's all working for them in life. I only have people in my life that are energetically inspiring. I only have people in my life that are emotionally, totally being able to regulate themselves. And I only have people in my life that are, not self-centered, that are really about always asking what they can do for me. And I always ask how I can support them and everything, okay? So you need to get clear of what your inner circle is. What does that look like for you? And sometimes, we're really just about getting the chaos out of our life, getting that out so we can have peace in our life. That should be our primary goal in life. To our minimum part in life should be able to have peace. If you're having upsets, you got to handle it. If you're having upsets in your life, you need to of course you need to do your own inner work and everything, but you also need to get out the people of your life that are upsetting you, okay? That doesn't mean that you cut all ties, you never talk to them again. That actually is very dysfunctional. But you put boundaries on them. They don't belong in your inner circle. That doesn't mean that you can't have them in your life at some distance, okay? That doesn't mean that you have to make them wrong. That means that they don't belong in your inner circle, okay? And one thing I recommend is you can actually put in your phone, you can actually put what's called your favorites. And I'd recommend beginning to put the favorites in your life of people that are extraordinary human beings so you can start spending time and developing those relationships and nurturing those relationships and investing time and energy into those relationships so more and more of your inner circle becomes to be the extraordinary people, okay? So how to handle negative people, and then how to really spot, and create your inner circle. how to spot positive people, how to really spot extraordinary people. So this is probably one of the most important podcasts you'll probably ever learn in your life, because I promise this is imperative. If you want to have an amazing life, if you want to thrive, if you want to claim your birthright of prosperity and have good health and live a legacy on this planet, you're going to have to handle negative people, and you're going to have to pick an extraordinary inner circle. This podcast, I highly recommend that you listen to this over and over and over again until you have cleared out your entire life. I recommend that you share this with all of your friends, because what's going to happen is they're going to start spotting their own shit, and they're going to also spot and see how they need to get developed, or how they need to start putting standards on their life, okay? Please share this for your own good, for their good, for everyone's good. This is a game changer and a life changer. When I changed my friends fully, like I got out all of the dysfunction, my life is amazing. I do not have upsets. I do not have any upsets. Imagine a life where you don't have to get upset. Imagine a life where you don't have to get frustrated or pissed off at your friends or whatever. It is imperative that you do your own inner work, and that you pick all people around you that are either doing their inner work or have done their inner work and are living extraordinary lives, making a difference in the world. I simply know this in mind. You guys, please like, share, comment. I would love a testimonial on the podcast. It would be amazing. If you have my book as well, always helps to give reviews, you guys. I really appreciate it, okay? Have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth. Thank you for tuning in to Soulciété and Dr. Erin podcast. If you've had a calling to be a spiritual leader or coach, you can go to soulciété.com and check out our free training. If you've received value here, I would love it if you take a moment and give a 5-star review. In exchange, I have a ton of free gifts for you. Grab your free Awakening book, 40 guided meditations, and digital manifesting masterclass. I also have a free money meditation and worksheet for you, so you can begin to break through your scarcity mindset and claim your birthright of prosperity. You can get all of your gifts and learn about our upcoming transformational events in my bio link in both Instagram and Facebook. That's under drerin.tv, which is drein.tv. Also, I'd love to invite you into our free private community on Facebook under groups called Soulciété. That is facebook.com/groups/Soulciété. That's SOULCIETE. Have a divine day, and may you live your truth.